Hello, good morning. My name's Ian. Hello, how are you doing out there? And welcome to the latest edition of my podcast, which is in relation to my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. How are you all doing out there? Um, it's it's November, isn't it? Yeah, we've got. I'm gonna do a couple of podcasts this morning, so look out for the next one. Um, a brief description. The next one, I'm going to be talking over one or two bits that are in the book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. But this morning, I'm going to be talking about a couple of other things. I went skiing yesterday in Manchester. In the new year, I don't know if I've said already, in the new year, I'm going skiing to Andorra in February. And when you book a DSUK holiday at the minute, which is a charity that I'm going skiing with, you get a free skiing lesson. So I went with one of my PAs, Lorna. We went to the Chill Factor, and I had my ski lesson. I'm incredibly tired this morning, which I expected to have been, and it was just kind of getting my feet back, getting my ski legs back. I had a couple of testing the surface, as I call it, in other words, aka fall. But it was all good. And the instructor that took me yesterday is actually going on the same trip, so I may contact DSUK and say, can I either have the guy that took me yesterday, or there was a guy that works in Andorra, lives in Andorra, and he was there earlier this year. He was there several years ago when I went for the first time with Scott. So I might ask if I can either see Blake or Scott. Blake was the chap that I saw yesterday. But yeah, it was really good, and it was just good to get back in the groove and get back on the snow. Yeah, and last week, last Thursday, not was it Thursday? No, last Friday, I did a collection for mitochondria for the Lilly Foundation. A few weeks ago, when it was Mitochondria Awareness Week, we had a stall at Morrison's, and I contacted Natalie after we had done the collection at Morrison's and said, that was brilliant, can we do it again? And so she said, yeah, no problem, just tell me when you want to come. So last week we went. It was a little bit quieter last Friday morning, but we still raised a little bit and still raised awareness, and it was all good. And like the time before, there was a gentleman came playing his mouth organ, and everything happened like that. But unfortunately, it was only a quiet morning. It was Black Friday last week, so I went and bought a new ski jacket. In the afternoon, we went to the designer outlet, and I made use of the Black Friday things that were going on. So yeah, but going back to yesterday, it's always really seems really cold in the Chill Factor. when you're on holiday, it's often quite sunny, and people tell you to take sun cream and put sun cream on, and you kind of laugh, but you do need it. You do need it because I remember one year one of the lads got a bit red, because obviously he didn't put his sun cream on, and yeah. Um, yeah, the other thing I'm going to talk about in the other podcast, which I'll start at the minute, one of my old colleagues, college mates, said, "Oh, why don't you talk about Loughborough? Why don't you talk about the first year at Loughborough?" And I had a totally different set of friends on the first year as what I did on the second and third year, because the first year, after the first year, some of the people had left, and I was only young at the time. I was only 16, but we'll start that now and carry it on later on. Yeah, when I first went to Loughborough, as anyone that's 16, 17 will relate to, it's kind of a bit of a shock. Well, it was kind of a big. I felt it was a bigger step than normal, because I was going from a disabled, physically. Most people had a physical impairment or a mental impairment, and I had a physical impairment and a visual impairment, but I could still walk back in those days. I can't now. I can weight bear and furniture walk. For any of you out there that knows about these things, furniture walk doesn't mean walking from one piece of furniture to the next. Furniture walk means grabbing hold of one piece of furniture, then getting hold of the next before you fall over. But as we're nearly to the end of this podcast, I will bid you all goodbye in a moment, and I'll pick it all up in a few minutes on the next one. So thank you for listening, and please check my next podcast out, which is coming today, which is again will relate to my college days, mainly the first year, and we'll talk about other stuff as well. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is Ian, and it's my podcast relating to my book, Living with Mitochondria Against All Odds. So I'll speak to you soon, and goodbye for now. Goodbye.